This is my recipe for some yummy beef seitan, or you can use it as like ribs or a steak. So I use vital wheat gluten and flour because vital wheat gluten to me is very powerful and like not bitter, but like has this certain aftertaste. So I always cut it with flour. And we're going to be using some soy sauce, tomato paste, nooch, liquid smoke, and some spices and salt and pepper. So I put in my 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, my tablespoon of tomato paste, my tablespoon of nooch, and my few drops. It's probably about a teaspoon of liquid smoke to half a teaspoon. Then I put in my half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, and a teaspoon of paprika with salt and pepper to taste. And then I mix it up really well before I put in the flour. And then after we put in the flour in that big bowl, we're going to put in half a cup of water as well. So I am putting in that 1 1/4 cup of vital wheat gluten and half a cup of all-purpose flour. Then we're going to mix it in that mixture until it gets kind of crumbly, then putting our water in a little bit at a time. Once you put the water in, the vital wheat gluten activates, so you want to put it in a little bit at a time, not all at once. So you're going to put it in a little bit and then you're going to stir it up. Then after I put it all in there, I use my hands and try not to knead it too much with your hands because it becomes more rubbery the more your hands are in it. And like when you're doing this, if you see that you have that much flour left, I put in like a tablespoon more of water to get it all in the ball, but you don't have to have it like a uniform color or a perfect dough. It just has to be in that ball and not like floury. So then you're going to roll it out to your desired thickness. I do about 1/2 inch because we're going to cut them into little beef things for our dinner tonight. So I'm chopping it into 3 here so that I can steam them for 20 to 25 minutes. And here is my steamer. So I have my boiling water underneath with the pot there. And then I wrap up with aluminum foil my my seitan pieces just so they don't stick together, and I find this helps a lot. So I put them all in there with the lid on top when it's boiling. And then after 25 minutes, they are ready. And then I always make sure I flip them as well, just to take an extra precaution. And here's my sauce. It is about 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, a tablespoon of maple syrup, a teaspoon of garlic, chili, and ginger mixture, and just a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar with a heaping teaspoon of tomato paste. Then you mix it up really well in the bowl there. Sometimes it might seem a little liquidy, and that is totally fine. It will absorb when you go to fry your beef pieces or your steak. You can just keep them like whatever shape you want, and you can steam them and just also do it in big pieces too. So here I am just turning them as they're in the steamer. Make sure they are thoroughly steamed, but I don't think it's necessary, but I just do it, like I said, as a precaution. And yeah, so I'm making some rice as well and some veggies. But if you make rice, make sure you always soak it. I think it was Marketplace that told me to do this really well because it could have traces of arsenic in it. So just make sure you get it as clear as water as you can. I usually do it about 3 times. And then I'm cooking it with some of my vegetable broth, salt, and butter. Just flavors it up more. And here's my veggies. And this is how it looks before the sauce. It's super cool. It's like some type of magic voodoo. I love this stuff. And it's super easy. So yeah, once those are done, oh, sorry, here's my veggies and rice again. It's nice and thick with that broth. I just love it. It just adds some richness to it. So I'm putting some sesame and some vegetable oil to fry them in. And I'm just cutting them up how I like them, nice and thin, like beef, because I'm making a beef dish with the rice and veggies. But you can do it whatever you want. It's just easier to cook and easier to brown. So pop those in there when the oil is ready. Get them nice and coated in the oil. Being very careful with the oil, of course. And then once it only takes like about 5 minutes to get them nice and golden, like you'll see in a second. Once they are golden like this, you are ready to add your sauce. And you're going to let it, make sure you are constantly stirring it because sauces can really easily burn. It's okay to have a couple black burnt flavor pieces on it, like I have in mine, but it's not like, don't let it to get all black or else it's just going to be tough and it won't be enjoyable for like a mouthfeel. It'll probably still taste good, but it just won't be a good texture. Yeah, see, that's okay. And it's almost ready. So once it's starting to look like that, you're going to take it off and present it how you like on your plate, and you're good to go. I hope somebody tries this and lets me know how it goes, because it is one of my favorite. Thanks.